Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
Guide for Russian troops, how to identify Ukrainians. Sometimes Ukrainian saboteurs try to pass off as Russian troops. The easiest way to identify them is to remove their pants and examine their genitalia. All Ukrainians have balls of steel, even women. So, I met this dude in a hotel bar. I wanted to share this little story I heard yesterday in the hotel bar on my island. I stop in occasionally to, write and stuff. I've never wanted anything I've heard to be truer than this. I learned this interesting bit of info from a guy who claimed to be a retired terrorist security specialist from Israel. He said that when they are on alert for a potential suicide bomber, they pay special attention to unusual bulges in the crotch of men's pants, not for bombs, but for protective metal cups. Suicide bombers are promised virgins in heaven, so they want to protect their penis in the blast. He said when a bomb does go off they look through the carnage for a penis in a cup. They know it was the bomber's and can get his DNA. Can anyone verify if this is in any way true? Why do elephants paint their testicles red? So they can hide in cherry trees. What's the loudest sound in the jungle? A giraffe eating cherries. An Airbus 380 is flying across the Atlantic. An Airbus 380 is on its way across the Atlantic. It flies consistently at 800 kilometers per hour at 30,000 feet, when suddenly a jet fighter appears. The pilot of the fighter jet slows down, flies alongside the Airbus and greets the pilot of the passenger plane by radio. Airbus, boring flight isn't it? Now have a look here. He rolls his jet on its back, accelerates, breaks through the sound barrier, rises rapidly to a dizzying height, and then swoops down almost to sea level in a breathtaking dive. He loops back next to the Airbus and asks, "Well, how was that?" The Airbus pilot answers, "Very impressive, but watch this." The jet pilot watches the Airbus, but nothing happens. It continues to fly straight, at the same speed. After 15 minutes, the Airbus pilot radios, "Well, how was that?" Confused, the jet pilot asks, "What did you do?" The Airbus pilot laughs and says, "I got up, stretched my legs, walked to the back of the aircraft to use the shitter, then got a cup of coffee and a chocolate fudge pastry." Saw Elon Musk the other day. I, 26M, was peeing in a restaurant bathroom and a man who I swear was Elon Musk walked in and started peeing at the urinal next to me. I didn't say anything to him or freak out because I didn't want to be a douche, but I did glance over and I accidentally saw his package. It was like 1 inch, no exaggeration. Seems like everything in his life is compensation. Two blondes are walking through a forest and come upon some tracks. First blonde, "Those are deer tracks." Second blonde, "No, those are rabbit tracks." They kept arguing until the train hit them. A genie grants 3 wishes to an old lady. She says, "I want to be young again." Poof, she's young again. "I want my little house to be turned into a beautiful mansion." Poof, she's now living in a beautiful mansion. "I want my cat to be turned into a handsome young man." Poof, her cat is now a handsome young man. "Oh cat, all my fantasies have come true. Take me in your arms, take me upstairs and make mad, passionate love to me." The cat says, "Oh darlin', you should have thought about that a long time ago, before you had me fixed." It's true that carrots are great for memory. Buddy of mine shoved one up my ass 15 years ago and I still remember it to this day. My girlfriend has a seashell tattooed on her inner thigh. And when you put your ear on it, you can smell the ocean. If you look around you might even see crabs. My alcoholism is really screwing up my law career. Every time I try to pass the bar, I just go in 4 cannibals apply for a job in a big corporation. Well, says the boss, if I hire you guys, you have to promise to not eat any of our staff. The cannibals promise that they will not eat anyone and get hired. Everything is going well for a while, and one day the boss calls them into his office. You're working well and all, but we're missing an office cleaner. Do you have something to do with that? The cannibals swear that they are innocent. The boss believes them and leaves the office, and they all turn to their leader. You idiots, he screams. Who ate the cleaner? One of the cannibals sheepishly raises his hand. You fool, shouts the leader. For weeks we've been feasting on directors, team leaders, project managers and human resource staff, and then you go and eat someone they'll actually miss. So we all know the joke, why was 6 afraid of 7 BC 789, but why was 10 terrified? Because he was in the middle of 9/11. A man walks into a pet store and asks for 12 bees. Pet store worker, brings 13 bees. Man, why is there 13 bees in here? I asked for 12. Worker, oh, that one's a freebie. A guy sat next to me on the train. He pulled out a photo of his wife and said, she's beautiful, isn't she? I said, if you think she is beautiful, you should see my Mrs. Mate. He said, why, is she a stunner? I said, no, she's an optician. Guys, it happened. It actually worked. Got my wife to reluctantly laugh at an off-the-cuff dad joke. She was getting snacks together in my 3Yo's lunchbox, and found some old expired individual Nutella packets. So she said, ah, these are outdated. I hit her with, oh, that makes it oldtella. She laughed, then got angry. I hope you're all having successful Thursdays like I am. My husband spent the past decade training to get into the Olympics, and after much blood, sweat, and tears, they've finally accepted him. He starts cleaning the toilets tomorrow.